What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Melanie Method. What Melanie Method, Melanie Meth, Melanie M, whatever you want to call me. But I wasn't even gonna make a video because I'm a chilling, just enjoying my time, my life. I just got back from out of town. I went to Arizona and came back. And I've been trying so hard not to focus on this election stuff. I've still been watching everything. My favorite commentators on YouTube. Shout out to Devori Darkins. Shout out to LFR family. Shout out to Larry from Town Hall. I love y'all. I love y'all. All the information you guys provide really enlightened me, and it really allowed me to do my due diligence to find out all the facts and everything surrounding the Donald Trump and the Kamala Walz campaign, even going all the way back to when Trump was going up against Hillary back in 2016. I went all the way back. I even went back to 1980 when Donald Trump was doing interviews back then, but he was speaking on the economy and why he really wouldn't want to be a president. I went back to those because that's how you really learn a person, by learning like what their thoughts were, their perspectives were, even from all the way back then. And I tell you, the way they are demonizing him is like it should be against the law. It should really be against the law. They're demonizing this man so bad. They're doing everything to try to tackle his credibility and ethical his ethnics. Because everything they're doing to him is so wrong. It's so maliciously wrong that it angers me. So I just watched a video from the Cartier family. Shout out to y'all because I really love them. They do commentary surrounding different politics, surrounding everything, like different things in the media and news, interviews with different celebrities and like things like that. And they do really, really good. I wish one day I can be like them, one of these people I've named, because they're all amazing. I love all of their content. It's all helpful. It's all useful. It's very accurate. They really be thorough within their findings as well. They don't lie and try to be fake news like MSNBC, ABC, and people CBS and shit like that. Because CBS did us an injustice by editing out her interview. And if I stammer on my words, you guys, it's because I'm trying to remember everything because I do my videos freestyle. And I really need to take notes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But this video upset me so bad, I immediately just talked to you guys now while it's still fresh in my head. But it's just an injustice. I forget where I was saying, and now I got off topic. But I'm going to get back on topic. The video from the Cartier family, it was an interview between Donald Trump's daughter-in-law and Charlemagne the God. And he tried so hard. If a person acts like he's not on either side, I do not like Charlemagne the God because I feel like if you have your own setup like that, you have your own podcast, it's legit, where you interview major celebrities, actors, rappers, etc., whatever have you. How come you haven't been educating yourself for the facts? Because everything like that he's forcing himself to believe is disgusting. Like, it's so much. I don't even know where to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep smoking. I'm going to keep drinking. I'm going to play the video for you guys. Let you guys hear it. Okay. And then I'm going to stop him every time he comes up with a lie about Donald Trump, whether it's a lie that he has been accustomed to believe through the media that's reporting fake news, or if that's just his personal beliefs that he believes that garbage over what facts are. I'm tired of this man being incriminated and he's not being respected with the way he should be respected for. He should be respected as an icon that did everything that he can as a president to not bring us a war. Do you know he's the first president in many years, and she's going to go over that brought us no war. Just like I had already said. I said that in so many different videos. I'm just tired of it's an injustice. And I wouldn't want myself to be treated like this. It's really wrong to keep slandering him and lying and coming up with all this negativity and hate and then reversing it and saying it's him. It's really sick. It really is. It's baffling too why a person would go through all this, and this whole democratic organization together is like a formulation of a cult of racists. They are the racists. It's the Democrats. Wow. Okay. Just watch this, you guys. And I'm going to stop it where it needs to be stopped. This is disgusting.
To the Black community when he was in the White House. I will say I've never seen this man say a racist thing. I think the attacks are fairly.
He laughs.
Why is that funny, Charlamagne?
I'm just laughing. It's hysterical. But I mean,
but no, Charlamagne,
because people act like there's no such thing as Google, or we don't have TV, we don't have
what
radio.
Is it that you think that he said?
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
This morning, a bitter backlash after President Trump referred to Haiti and African nations as S-hole countries.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. I'm even going to make me full screen again because I'm really mad. I'm outraged by this video. This video has me really, really, really mad. Okay, it was Laura Trump. Now, I didn't know her first name, the daughter-in-law. I just looked at it. Okay, he said it's shithole countries. So in other words, being honest is being racist if you're Donald Trump. Haiti is a third world country, so is Africa, a certain person. Guess what? They have a lot of shitholes there. And then we said the Mexicans, they come over and they're rapists. That's true also. A lot of them people coming over the border are rapists and they are hurting us. That has nothing to do with color. That's facts. If it was white people that were dangerous coming over there, he would say that too. He wouldn't care. He'd be like, they're assholes, they're shitholes. Ew, okay. Then he laughed about it, Charlamagne the God. So in other words, if you're honest, it's racism now to the Democrats. Okay. Because this is really angering me.
A meeting on immigration Thursday.
This remark by the President of the United States smacks of blatant racism.
Here's what I'll say. You know, this is a man who, as I said in the beginning, was beloved by so many people in this country. Mm-hmm. And he was friends with everybody.
A lot of celebrities.
Jesse Jackson, by the way.
Please
his Rainbow Coalition.
He had black friends. That's not going to work.
No. He let them stay rent free.
Look at that. Look at that. Did you see that? Did you just see the attack? How they immediately attacked her? Attack what she was saying. Don't say he had any black friends. Don't do that. How you know, bitch? Was you alive? Was you? She probably was my age or younger than me. How we know who he had friends with in the 70s and the 80s? Well, we turn to Google, who doesn't have to give all the facts. And Donald Trump did a lot of things for black people in the past and in the present. He had all kinds of black people working at his casinos. My uncle was black. He worked for him. Even if Donald Trump don't necessarily like a different culture, there's no evidence to support that. And I don't like a lot of different cultures either. So are you going to do something to me? This is an injustice. This is an injustice. I'm done. Like, I can't take this. This is disgusting, black people. This is disgusting. When did we become the racist? And I wasn't even seeing that though. But when did we become a bigger racist than what white people are being? This man is fighting to keep us together. He's fighting for unity, for us to come together and fight for this country together. Because what the Democrats did to us by letting all of them over that border and trying to take over everything, that was an injustice to all of us. And it was a threat. That was a threat to our lives. It wasn't talking about a threat to democracy. It was a threat to all of us. It was a threat by taking all of our money, depleting things from FEMA. It was a threat also to our jobs. It was a threat for them raping and hurting us, as many of them has done. And sex trafficking. Our numbers went through the roof since the Biden-Harris administration has been in the office. So I'm just, to say anything against him at this point, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because he's the only hope we have left. And how could you disrespect that? How could you not see that for what it is? Do your fucking due diligence, black people. For real. They are trying to corrupt you. They're brainwashing you. He is not the problem. They are. They are. They're the ones spreading the hate. Talk about how he got to be taken down. All this nasty shit they're saying about him on the bit. I mean, can't you have some kind of humility for a person that almost died fighting for this country twice? Then, prior to that, he had the country fine for 4 years. No wars, nothing. First president in years that was able to do that. I mean, what is it? When do you guys want to see it? Well, was he dead and gone and we're being tortured by a Democrat? Is that when people are going to wake up and say, you know what? Oh my God, he was the best president. What the? It's going to take that long. I don't get it. What more does these Democrats have to do to get us right, make our sex trafficking go up high? So much. Deplete all our money and give it to migrants, but don't give it to us. What more do they have to do to humiliate us as citizens before you guys wake up and see they're not the option? They are the corruptors, and they're corrupting this man through the media. Oh my God. Okay. This video makes me so mad. I'm scared to watch it over. I'm going to be really honest with you. This video upsets me so bad. It's so disgusting. It shows just how nasty and racist Black people can really be, that they're allowing the racism and the hate corrupt them. He's not what y'all are saying he is. Stop saying it.
Of his buildings, the Rainbow Coalition, because he felt like at the time that was a very important thing. You can go pick apart somebody all you want. It is a traditional talking point to attack Republicans, to call them racist. But when you look at the things that he wants for this country, he wants every person to be successful. He wants Black Americans to be successful, Hispanic Americans to be successful, women to be successful. And he worked that way when he was in the White House.
Fuck he did.
And whether you want to talk about actually funding in perpetuity historically Black colleges and universities, whether you want to talk about the First Step Act that allowed 30,000 nonviolent felons to be released from prison, who the 1994 crime bill actually put in prison. These are things that really...
Mr. Biden. I didn't even know it was 30,000. I thought it was just 100. I didn't know how many it was, but 30?
That's a lot.
Isn't it funny that Joe Biden signed the crime bill, got them put in. He signed the First Step Act, got them out, but he's the racist one and he's not, because that's what they told you to think.
First Step Act that allowed 30,000 nonviolent felons to be released from prison, who the 1994 crime bill actually put in prison. These are things that really have, I feel like, spoken to a lot of people, but more so than anything, the economy right now is such that I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
It is hurting you, and it is something that he wants to fix. He wants every American to have their shot at the American dream. And, you know, I hate that that is the constant knee jerk is Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump is a racist. I can tell you he wants every person to be successful. He'll work for every American equally. He did that the first term when he was president, and he'll do it again.
Well, how do you ask Mexicans and Muslims to ignore a lot of the rhetoric, Haitians to ignore a lot of the rhetoric that he said about them that is dangerous, that is villainized them, that is demonized?
Well, I would say anyone who's coming to this country illegally, he's very against, and every American should be very against. If you're an American citizen, Donald Trump doesn't care your religion. He doesn't care what you look like. He will work for you, and he wants to make this country safe for you. We should all want a secure southern border. A lot of the comments get misconstrued that he says about people coming here illegally. They're breaking our federal law to come here illegally.
Thanks.
And that should be upsetting to everyone.
Yeah.
When you make these broad generalizations, you do hurt the Haitian Americans that are here, the Mexican Americans that are here. They all get labeled and villainized and demonized.
Yeah, but you know what? I think people are finally seeing through that. It's very easy to clip up something like that and say like, oh, let's push this out here. When he's referencing these things, he's talking about people who are illegally in our country. He doesn't want us to have 350 people on the terror watch list here. There's a guy who was arrested the other day, an ISIS member who was arrested the other day, who had planned a November 5th election day attack on American citizens. ISIS was eradicated under Donald Trump. We did not even talk about it anymore.
I forgot about ISIS.
He got into the White House and he talked to his top military brass and he said, okay, you guys tell me, how long is it going to take to deal with ISIS? Because ISIS was a big threat. People were constantly talking about it, worried about terror attacks. They said, sir, it's going to take us a couple years, maybe. You know, we have to call the White House every time we want to have some big operation. And he said, how about this? You guys just go do whatever it is you need to do. You don't need to call me. You guys are the experts. I'm not a military expert. You take care of it and let's see what happens. 4 weeks. ISIS was gone. The fact that we're talking about ISIS back in the here in the United States of America, an ISIS member should terrify everybody.
Yeah.
The open border has been a disaster. So yeah, he's upset about it. And yes, he says things about people coming here illegally, and rightly so. And you and I, as American citizens, should be the ones absolutely infuriated that this has been allowed to happen.
I agree with you. The border is a disaster. I feel like the border is a bipartisan issue because the border has been terrible under multiple administrations.
Well, we had the lowest border crossings when Donald Trump was in the White House that we've ever had.
Yes, but I still feel like it's going to take some bipartisan legislation, to actually fix things at the border. You can't do executive orders. You can't do that. So how come they can't come to terms on that? And why did Donald Trump shoot down what they said was one of the most comprehensive bipartisan border bills that
if you actually read what was in there, there was like $60 billion for Ukraine. There were so many issues with that. It would allow 1.8 million illegal immigrants into our country a year. I mean, it was nonsense.
See, they thought that they was gonna get lower on here. And she had all the facts. Yeah. She had all the facts. And she was gonna fall. She said, well, about that bill, it was gonna give $60 billion to Ukraine. Oh, First Step Act. Oh, 30,000 free black men. Oh, or not black men, but men.
I'm trying to see if they're gonna fact check her. I'm waiting for the black girl. I'm waiting for the black girl on the right side.
Look, she got the Google up. Look, you see it in the corner. Look, she got the Google up. She said, is that true?
It was nonsense, honestly, Charlamagne. And we should all want a secure southern border. That's why Donald Trump built over 500 miles of border wall when he was in office. And, I went down to the border wall and I saw it with my own eyes. I went down to Yuma, Arizona about a month ago. And to talk to the people in those communities, look, they say now every state is a border state because of this. The people who live in Yuma, Arizona are being so negatively impacted. If you're a pregnant woman in Yuma, Arizona, they kind of say, you may not want to plan to have a baby in our hospitals here because they're so overrun taking care of people who cross the border. It's dangerous. They say a third of women are sexually assaulted. The people there told me it's probably closer to 50% who come up over the southern border. So it's terrible for them. But because of them having to take care of all the illegal migrants coming over, you can't even be assured you're going to have a place to deliver a baby in Yuma, Arizona. They say you're going to have to drive either 2 hours to San Diego or 3 hours north to Phoenix. And so having gone and seen it with my own eyes, I'll tell you the most infuriating part to me. You have this border wall that Donald Trump built, and then laying down on the ground where you have a wide open section are pieces of the border wall that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because they campaigned and said, we will not build another foot of Donald Trump's border wall. It's laying on the ground. And there are people who come right through there. They could stand it up right now if they wanted to, but they won't do it. That is very frustrating, I think, to see right now that we paid for that. It's right there ready to go. And if they're not leaving it on the ground, then they're selling it for, pennies on the dollar.
If the bipartisan border bill was so bad, like you say, how come so many Republicans were for it until Donald Trump intervened to say no?
I don't think Donald Trump intervened at all. He's not in elected office right now. And
he literally told them not to do it.
How do you know?
I don't think that's true, but I also no.
You sitting here laughing.
Well,
were you there?
Yeah, he will.
That's a good question. I wonder for you, how tough is it having the last name Trump? Because you are the co-chair of the RNC. You do have the last name Trump. You're the daughter-in-law. How hard is it for you to have to always answer questions about Donald Trump?
Well, nothing prepares you for this. I can tell you, growing up where I would have never expected to have the last name Trump. I certainly would have never expected to be involved in all of this. And yeah, sometimes it's challenging, but I'll tell you, I really believe when history looks back on this man, this is a man who never needed this job.
Y'all won't regret it.
You have to think back, like we were talking about before, Donald Trump was beloved by so many. He really got involved in politics because he felt he could make a positive difference. Mm-hmm. And most people would have had that first term in office and seen how much they fought against him and said, you know what, I'm not going to do this again.
Exactly.
But he decided to come back and do it again.
Bullets.
They indicted him. Not once, but 4 times. Mugshot. Obviously, 2 assassination attempts. And this is a man who continues fighting for this country. And I will tell you, I'm incredibly proud to be his daughter-in-law. I'm incredibly proud to have the last name Trump. Does it come with its challenges because there is a lot of negative information out there about Donald Trump? Absolutely. But I can't think of anything better that I could be doing right now than trying to fight for the future of this country. And I really believe that when people think about their life with Donald Trump in office and their life right now, they will always say, my life was better with him in office. And we should all want a great country. And that's what I want. I want it for my kids. I want it for everybody's kids and grandkids. And it's not just about right now, it's about the future of America.
You keep saying he had a lot of celebrity friends and they turned on him.
He sure did.
How does he feel about that? Because, in the 90s, the early 2000s, everybody was hanging with Donald Trump. They would mention him in songs and going to his parties and all these events. But they all have turned. How does he feel about that? Do you know?
Is it because they got told to turn?
I think he knows what he's doing is so important right now. And to kind of finish my point, I think when history looks back on this man, he will truly go down as one of the greatest presidents this country's ever had. He put so much on the line. Look, he's lost zeros off the back of his net worth. He's the only president to donate his salary every quarter. He came out of the White House with less money than he went in. And he does it because he loves this country. And he really does want to see us successful. We are the superpower of the world. That is such a huge deal. But things are going in the wrong way in a lot of different aspects. And I think one of the scariest things to him right now is nuclear war. You know, he talks about it all the time, that it is a real possibility right now. You have Russia,
the biggest
you have Iran, you have a lot of bad actors out there who are chomping at the bit. They saw the way we exited from Afghanistan. They see the weakness right now in this White House. And, you know, you want a strong president because you want peace through strength. And that's what we had. He was the only president in 82 years not to have a new war under his leadership.
Now what you just said just now about the nuclear war is something I agree with. I feel like there is too much casual conversation about nuclear war from a lot of different
That's the end of the world,
leaders.
literally.
We're discussing it enough.
Yeah.
That I agree with you.
It's terrifying. And you know, there are a lot of people out there right now who aren't even thinking about this. But imagine the United States gets into World War III. And we indeed would be separate.
That I agree with you. Like, there's nothing else to agree with her about. But do your findings and do your due diligence, and you'll see everything she's saying is facts. That's I just don't like his hesitation and skepticism. Investigate first, and then be skeptical of certain things. If he uncovers everything I have, he'll lie to everything this girl said. She's not saying that just because she's the daughter-in-law. She's saying it because she knows the truth, and everything she said was the truth so far. Wow.
To it. The people, our young men and women in this country are going to be sent overseas, and it is going to be horrific. And on top of that, it won't be like any war we have ever seen ever in the history of the world, because nuclear is absolutely terrifying. It would destroy the world.
It's going to last an hour.
Yeah.
It would be gone.
Yeah. No, it's very scary. And, you know, people gave him you remember when he was running in 2016, they were like, we can't give this guy the nuclear codes.
I agree with that, though.
They were saying that.
Even now to this point.
He was the only person, Charlemagne, not to get us into a new war. Yeah, he was the one who got us the Abraham Accords, peace agreements that people said were impossible in the Middle East. So why is that? Why are you concerned about Donald Trump with the nuclear?
Did you see what he did on January 6th?
What did he do on January 6th?
He got a little bit upset and used his words.
What words did he say, though?
The words that you said earlier.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voice heard.
And then what happened after that?
So how were his words actually contributing to that?
Because I think that for me, him being able to just push a button, hypothetically speaking, it's a little bit scary, because we've seen he gets a little bit erratic when he wants to.
But he's been in office.
Nothing happened for 4 years.
Thank you.
White House.
She's good. She's good.
We had a peaceful world. We had a stable world. We had world leaders who were coming to the table to talk about issues like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, by the way. You know, Obama, when he left the White House, told my father-in-law, he said, the biggest problem you're going to have is North Korea. It is going to be your biggest challenge. It's going to be the hardest thing you're going to have to deal with. And so Donald Trump said, all right, I'm going to try to see what we can do here, because we want to have a denuclearized Korean Peninsula. We do not want North Korea with a nuclear weapon. That is detrimental. I mean, talk about nuclear war. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? Talk about a loose cannon, Kim Jong-un, really? And so he started trying to make contact with him, and he was the first president to walk across the DMZ and shake hands with the leader of North Korea to have conversations about getting rid of a possible nuclear weapon with North Korea. That is great for the world. Their world leaders did not even try it with Donald Trump because they knew he meant business.
Yeah.
When he drew a line in the sand, he meant it.
Yeah.
And the proof is in the pudding. So, you know, you can say, oh, well, we're worried about this. You had 4 years. You had no new wars. You had peace agreements instead of wars breaking out.
First time in 82 years.
Look at it right now. It is a hornet's nest, and it is very scary, the trajectory from here to what could happen if you don't have the right leadership.
But it wasn't a peaceful transfer of power, and he did lead an insurrection.
Stop.
I know you keep saying about the
insurrection
part, but he also
offered National Guard troops to Nancy Pelosi. She didn't want to take it. Look, here's what I can tell you.
He also said we fight like hell.
And we fight.
What is that?
We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
And if you don't fight like hell,
Charlemagne,
you're not going to have a country anymore.
Every politician, when you go out on the stump,
even after he got shot at, which was terrible, first thing he did when he stood up was say, fight who?
Fight for our country.
He wants to keep fighting for this country. No, she is. And you know, this is my father-in-law. I know things
I'm stopping it now. That boy is retarded. He's retarded, and so is that black girl. Black people are retarded. They really are, because it's like once they see something one way and they deem it as racist, they can't do it. And it's not like that. He said, you guys can march, and we're going to march peacefully and patriotically. They cut that out of the original clip for January 6th. So he's not like he told them to go and tear shit. He never did that. He did not verbally say that. Even if inside that's what he wanted, he didn't verbally say it. Okay, so that's bullshit. Then he was say, even when he almost got shot, he jumped up and said, fight, fight, fight. He meant he was going to keep fighting for this country and don't stop fighting. What is he? How retarded can you be? To misconstrue the fight, fight, fight. The fight, fight, fight thing to me goes on in history. It goes on in history. He changed what this means. He changed what it means. It means unity to me now. It means unity and fight what is right. And fight for your damn country that you live in. That's what he meant when he pumped his fist. That he wasn't going to give up. That he was going to keep fighting for us. Like, how do you take that away from him and turn it into something that he's not even saying? And how do you not respect this man for fighting? He could die trying to fight for this country. So I just have to point that out and break that down, because people are so ignorant and disgusting. Do your research and do your due diligence, Democrats, and people that wants to believe in that before you start slandering an innocent man. So you got any problems with me saying in my comments, because you're going to look stupid. I'm right, you're wrong. I did all of my research on this man. This man it's an injustice. They're basically lying on him. And that's why all his charges are being dropped. Because they can't even come up with enough evidence to substantiate the charges. Because they all were fictitious charges, just like it was being publicized in certain media sources. So I'm done. That's all I had to say. I just have to point out that video. I got other shit to do. That disgusted me. Because how could you take away from him what he's trying to get and twist it around and make him look like he's the enemy when it's really that? She can't even complete a speech correctly without repeating the same shit and not knowing what to say. She said she was not going to do anything different than what Biden did several times, okay? She be coming up there looking drunk. We had wars since her and that Biden been in the office. He asked the media what storm. He didn't even know what storm they were referring to. When how would you not remember that quickly that there were storms that flushed all through North Carolina, South Carolina, and all the southern regions, Florida and all of that. Alabama and shit, whatever, Mississippi. And this is who you guys want to run with. And Waltz, who keeps lying and sounding like a pervert. And I don't know what is wrong with people. This election has broken me up from people. I refuse to be cool with people that supports her. I mean that, because she's disgusting. Everything she stands for is disgusting. And she has disgraced this country as a vice president that had control, as she said she did. She had control and made decisions with Biden, who's an invalid. So she was making all the decisions, basically. Let's be real here. He's an invalid. So I don't know what to say from here. If you guys don't see it, there's something wrong with you. And that's just it. It's sad because there's a lot of people that has voted for her and supporting her. So let's see. We have a really mentally declined country, to say the least. But I'm going to keep getting drunk and smoking, and I'm relaxing. I just have to point this out of how they keep lying and demonizing this innocent man. This man didn't do what they're saying he did, and he's not what they're saying he is. Go back to all his old videos where he politely discussed the economy and how bad we were going to be in a deficit. This man cares about this country. It ain't about no white and black. Fuck all of that. He's trying to get us back to where we need to be. Leave him alone and let it be. Let the real person be the fucking leader, because that bitch, she is stupid and she's a loser. I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and click the notification bell before I make new content. I'm out.